I was adopted from birth, basically. It really shaped, the rest of, it really shaped my life. I grew up, wondering what, like, if I wasn't important enough, to be raised by my actual parents, if anyone actually loved me. And like people would, I could hear it all day, but it never sunk into my heart. And so it really shaped my life growing up. And then when I was 14 years old, I went through a tornado at a Boy Scout camp, June 11th of 2008. And 4 of my friends died. One of them died right next to me. And I grew up in church and all that kind of stuff, and I heard story after story about how much God loved me. But that really made me start to question it, like, because my faith hadn't become my own yet. And I just started questioning, this God that everyone told me that loved me, like, then why did this happen to me? And just with the things that happened after that, like, the media, took it over, and I just felt used and wondered, why things like this happened. I would go to school, and, at that age, everyone's worried about, the next cool shoes, the next cool music coming out. Like, guys are starting to realize, does this girl like me or not? And, I just watched 4 people die. So the way I thought and the way the kids around me thought were 2 completely different things. And I really started to see the world from a very cynical point of view. There's a lot of pain and wounds in my heart that I didn't know how to deal with, and so I did drugs and alcohol. And for the next about 10 years, I was clean, sober, on drugs and alcohol, clean, sober. I can't even tell you the amount of times that I would get clean for a couple weeks, a couple months, and then realize because I couldn't deal with the pain on my own. And I bet this is the 3rd treatment center that I've been to, but this is the first one where I've actually found hope.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
And like I said, I grew up in church. I knew all the right answers, but it wasn't until I got to Teen Challenge that the answers became real in my life, that Jesus became real in my life.
Thank you.
And those wounds in my heart that I've carried for so long, it begins to heal. I'm around people that actually love me.
Thank you, Lord.
And without God in my life, I wouldn't be here standing today. So
Amen.
I just wanted to share that.
Amen.
As you can see, God is working.
Yes. Yes.
And it's one thing that I just love to see. And it's one thing I like to see. When these students first come in, like John, like he says, they have a lot of hurt. And a lot of hurt. One of our jobs is just to try to introduce Jesus back into their life.
Amen.
And help them guide through that. Because God says that we're the head, not the tail. Yeah. That we're conquerors. But the devil wants to put insecure doubt out there that, hey, you're this or you're that, and remember what you were doing 6 months ago, and how can you be in this and that. But God tells us that we're a victor. And when we ask for forgiveness, God forgives us for us, the east is from the west.
Amen.
And that's the lie of the devil trying to remind us of our past.
Amen.
But all we got to do is remind him of his future and what our future is, and we're on top. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do one song for the guys, so if the band want to set up, and while they're setting up to do their first song. Then a little bit also too, just a little bit more what we do. We have a wood shop that's at our center, and we make crafts. And if you notice that we have a craft table back there, this is one of the ways that we make that we help bring in students. We normally charge, we have a one-time fee of $1,400 that we charge. A lot of people that are in our program can't afford that. So what we do is we go out on the weekends and we do choirs, and we also do fundraisers. And as they're finishing setup, I do want to present y'all to the church with a cross. I want to present that to the pastor.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So hopefully y'all hang that up, and every time y'all see it, y'all think about us. So they're gonna. Y'all ready, guys? Yes, sir. All right.
Bear with me, church. I'm getting over a sickness, but we're going to see what the Lord's going to do. We're just doing it for the Lord and what it's about. work together for my good. You make all things work together for my good. You make all things work together for my good. You make all things work together for my good. You make all things work together for my good. You make all things work together for my good. You stay the same through the ages. Your love never changes. And make it day in the night. For your day in the morning. Stay away from the ocean. I don't have to be afraid. Because I know that you love me. Your love never fails. Oh, your love never fails. Your love never fails. Oh, your love never fails.
Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Man, how many of us know that God's love never fails?
Oh, hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Yes.
You know, it don't matter how many times that we mess up, God is always there for us.
That's right. That's right.
Even though we don't deserve it. One of the things that we like to do too is we like to pray for the churches that we come to. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to hand out some prayer cards. And so if y'all fill these out and bring them, if you fill them out, you can bring them to our craft table at the end of service. And what we like to do is during our staff meetings, and we allow the students also, we pray over those. So if you feel like that, you want to pray, you want us to pray for someone or pray for yourself, just fill the card out and we'll take care of that for y'all. Once again, the students here, one good thing I like, one of those things, the guys here, we wake these guys up at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 in the morning. It's called Teen Challenge for a reason. We get them up at 5:30 in the morning, we go straight to prayer. These guys we have a GED program they can participate in to get their GED. They have over 250 scripture verses that they have to memorize to equip them to be able to combat the Satan's attack. One thing they also do too is that before they graduate, they have to memorize Romans 12 and recite that. Sometimes they recite it at the church, sometimes they recite it to our teachers. Just some of the things that we like to do. I have some of the guys that, they don't know they're going to do their testimony. So Caleb's one of our new guys here, and I told him today, Caleb, I said, Caleb's going to do your testimony. He's like, huh? And I was like, yeah, God's calling.
Hey guys, my name is Caleb. I'm from Lubbock. So I grew up in the church. I grew up knowing all the right answers, how to talk the talk, but I did not know how to walk the walk. And I grew up kind of in a rough family. My dad struggles with alcoholism, and so I was never really close to the Lord. And so I started using drugs and alcohol when I was 15 years old. And when I was 17, my brother took his life, and I found him hanging in his room. And from then on, it escalated, and it got out of control, and I was hurting not only myself and losing friends, losing possessions, losing jobs, but I was hurting the people that I loved, and I was losing those people as well. So the Lord started speaking to me, and in crazy ways. I overdosed twice, woke up in the hospital twice, and I shouldn't be here right now, but by the grace of God, I am.
Praise the Lord.
And so me and my family decided that this is the place I needed to be. And now that I'm here, I'm learning how to develop a relationship with Jesus,
Thank you,
not
Lord.
just
Thank you, Lord.
not just going to church and singing the songs, but not truly meaning it with my heart. And trusting in His plan is not trying to do my own thing, go through my plans, but Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, to give you a hope and a future."
Yes.
And He has done that. He will never leave me or forsake me. And I finally have faith, and I trust in Him that He will do that. And He has given me a renewed sense of hope and
Thank you,
freedom.
Lord.
And I am forever grateful for this program. I know it's where God wants me to be, and I can't wait to see where it's going to take me and what God's going to do in my life. So,
Amen. Praise the
God
Lord.
bless you guys. Thanks for having me.
Like I said before, you see how the devil, he'll try to attack, and a lot of us, that's one of the things, where I know that the devil is attacking, because a lot of our guys in our program know God.
Yeah.
They grew up in church, and they like it's something for. Some of our guys don't, but the majority of our guys know God. They've been to church, they've had their grandmothers praying for them, but like Caleb said, they didn't take it seriously. And a lot of us, I grew up in the church, and some of us learn, what to say, how to say it, when to say it.
Yeah.
And, but we don't establish that. God says, even for the, when He comes and He says, when the people say, well, God, we prayed in your name and we did miracles in your name. And He says, get away from me, because I didn't know you.
Yeah.
And what He's saying is, you didn't have that personal relationship.
Yes.
He wants to, God earns to have a personal relationship with you. So a lot of times when the guys come in our program, we don't teach a lot about not doing drugs, not doing alcohol, not doing those things. What we try to do is introduce Jesus Christ into your life.
Amen.
Because
Thank
once you
Lord.
get a true revelation of who Jesus is,
Yes.
and He's in your life, you're not going to want to do drugs.
Amen.
You're not going to want to do alcohol.
Yes.
You're going to want to act like Jesus.
Amen.
And that's why our success rate is 85%. For those that graduate our program, it's an 85% chance they're not going to go back to drugs or alcohol.
Amen.
It's 85%. Most centers, theirs is 15%. And we're talking places where you're paying $20,000 a month, $10,000 a month. I had one guy, his parents were really wealthy, and they sent him to, I think it was like $35,000 a month to be there. And the day he got out, he went to do drugs. So, that's almost $90,000 wasted. But that's why we tell the people that our solution is not the things that we're teaching, but God.
Yeah.
And I keep harping on this because I want y'all to know that it's not us, it's God.
Amen.
It's God that does it for us that's praying. So the guys are going to do another song.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
I'm no longer a slave to fear.
Thank you.
Amen.
I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, You have chosen me. To love has called my name. And I've been born again into my family. Your blood flows through my veins. am a child of God.
Thank you, Lord.
Man, are we all a child of God?
Amen, amen.
You know, some
Thank
of the
you.
guys, I try to let them know, I say, life ain't fair. And any God that's been through life, life ain't fair.
Yeah,
But when you serving God, man, He blesses you.
yes, amen.
He opens doors that nobody can close.
Thank you, Lord.
Closes doors
Yes.
that nobody can open.
That's right.
Some of the guys, get in here, man, how am I ever gonna get a job? I got 2 convictions, I got this and that. And how many of us know though, that when you follow God, God's gonna open that door.
Yes, He
God's
will.
gonna put you where you need to be. So where you didn't see the way, God makes a way.
Thank you, Lord.
Right?
Thank you, Jesus.
Man. Boy. One thing also too is that our students that you see here today, like I said, we try to encourage these guys, but a lot of times they see me sometimes as the bad guy because I'm the one that wakes them up at 5. I'm the one that wakes them up at 5:30. I'm the one that has to say, okay, well, discipline time, so sometimes it takes a while before they see that I actually love them and care about them. But what we encourage all of these students that you see here today, we have we want sponsors. We have a poster back there that you can sponsor a student for $35 a month. Any of these students that you might want to sponsor today, if God leaves that on your heart, we'll give you a cross. Definitely can, as we eat, you can talk with the students, maybe you want to split one. But right now, we're going to show the second video, the sponsorship video. It kind of gives a little bit more breakdown of what that is. Because how many of you know we need an encouraging word.
Yes.
And sometimes it's good to know when you have the church praying for you.
Thank you, Lord.
Bolton King Challenge of Texas is a Christian drug and alcohol recovery program for men and women, families and teens that God is using to transform lives.
The first drug I got introduced to was cocaine, actually. And that led to marijuana. It did progress very fast from the age of 16 to 18. And by the end of that graduation, I was physically addicted to sedatives, your benzodiazepines, and your prescription pills, all those. He took all my worries, all my stresses, and turned them around into a situation. I was broken, now I'm together.
Thank you.
Graduating from Adult and Teen Challenge of Texas is no easy feat. It requires making a year-long commitment to this life-changing discipleship program. Our students are faced with spiritual battles on a daily basis, and every encouragement makes a difference. We want to invite you to be a part of their success. We want to invite you to become a student sponsor. When you sponsor a student at Adult and Teen Challenge, you are partnering with an individual who is becoming a new creation. When you sign up, we will assign you to one of our students and send you a photo and profile of the student that you will be sponsoring. Every few months, you will receive an update about your student's progress, so you can continue to pray for them and see that beyond your financial support, you are helping to change their life. You will have opportunities to meet and encourage your student at Adult and Teen Challenge events, and when your student completes the program, you will receive a personal invitation to attend and celebrate at their completion ceremony. Most of all, we urge you to write and encourage your student. Your letters will remind them that someone cares and that their community supports them. Your prayers will help move the obstacles in their path and help them stay committed on their journey towards freedom. Many students say that the letters and notes they received gave them the hope and encouragement they needed at just the right time.
I got the card in the mail on a day where I was just ready to give up, and it gave me all the encouragement I needed just to keep on going. Just to know that there's people out there praying for me gives me all the encouragement that I need to press on.
Amen.
The cost to provide housing, counseling, and other recovery services to a student in our program is over $1,400 each month. Most students can never afford to pay that out of pocket, so our ministry is supported by gifts from friends, families, churches, our vocational training programs, and the generous support of donors like you. For $35 a month, you can sponsor a student, and your entire gift will help provide recovery services to your student. By committing just $35 a month, you can help to change the life and future of a Teen Challenge student. To become a student sponsor, simply fill out a sign-up form, visit us on the web at tctexas.org, or give us a call to start supporting a student at your local Adult Teen Challenge campus today.
So like I said, it's you know, the students like the encouragement. You know, it's definitely nice to know, because a lot of them burn a lot of bridges. So a lot of them don't get a lot of letters, a lot of mail. And even if y'all know if you've ever been in a jail situation, or if you've ever been away, maybe in college or something like that, it's good to get that support, good to get that letter, good to get that encouragement. And, you know, God says we're an encourager.
Yes.
You know, if you can't do anything else, you can encourage.
Amen.
You know, and we need encouragement. We're going to get our last testimony here of our senior students.
Hello, church. Like I said earlier, my name is Quinn. My story started off in a good Christian home. I actually didn't realize what was happening until I was about 2 years old, 3 years old. But when I woke up to life, I was actually in Durango, Mexico, where my parents had decided to be missionaries with new tribes, and we would go deep into the mountains to testify about the Lord to a tribe called the Tepehuan Indians in a place called Taxicarin. And so I started to see a trend. The devil obviously was not happy with what my family was doing, and my dad devoted all of our lives and led us into being about Jesus. And that started a series of trends where the devil would attack me. And through my teen years, I developed some habits of just numbing out. I didn't want to deal with reality. I didn't want to, accept that Jesus could handle my problems, because I didn't know how to give it to him yet. And then by the time I was coming up to be a young adult, early on 20, I had tried a whole list of drugs, and I had completely learned how to clock out of life. If anything's happening that I don't like, I'll get high. If anything's happening that I do like, it's probably because we're getting high. And eventually I had my heart broken by a girl who I tried to be the superhero for, tried to take care of her and her son, and whenever that was all torn apart in my life, I put myself into a deep spiral, ended up deep into some drug dealing situations that got me into some danger, tried to go fix my life, didn't work, tried to fix my life, didn't work. And I finally called out to Jesus after I had been in such a deep depression because of my father's death that I just couldn't numb out anymore. There was no way for me to I didn't really believe it. There was a day where, and I was a meth addict, and meth could pretty much numb out just about anybody. But I reached a point in my life where there was a hurt so deep and a hole so empty in my chest that I couldn't get high enough anymore. And at that time, I just decided I just broke down. I was like, I can't believe this. I'm this high on meth, and I was breaking out, and I knew there was a real issue. And I called out on the Lord's name, and I asked him to help me, and he made a supernatural trip from Amarillo to San Antonio happen. And when I got there, I was like, no way, I'm still alive, I'm still in one piece. Like, I wasn't looking, I was trying to kill myself. The pain was enough to where I was just, I was like, if this shot's too big and my heart explodes, oh well. But the Lord saw fit that he would use me for his purposes, and I'm just so blessed to be here with y'all, and I'm so blessed to be able to worship. Singing is like my favorite thing to do, to the point where some of my brothers are like, dude, cool it, you can sing all day. And like, I'm just so thankful for church, and I just want to give God the glory for taking me and all my brothers out of the pit, out of the muck and the mire that we put ourselves in. The undeserved grace that we have, that we stand on today, is the reason that we are just full and whole and at peace. And I just thank God, and I thank y'all for having us.
Praise the Lord.
And as you see, like I said, hearing these testimonies, you see God's moving.
Amen.
And, and just avoiding what the devil tries to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of us, we grew up in the church and we know God. And we're going to finish up. We're going to do one more song, and then we'll turn it over to the pastor.
Thank you, Lord.
Well, I definitely want to say, God loves us all.
Yes.
And I want to just thank y'all for allowing us to be out here today. Again, I really don't forget that, definitely fill out the prayer cards. We definitely want to have those. Definitely, hopefully y'all visit our table that we have back there. And definitely, hopefully we'll have a chance to intermingle with y'all guys. How about the band back here, man? Y'all like to hear one more song?
Yeah.
Got one more in you guys?
I'm trying.